Race fans, welcome to Windrock Bike Park for the Red Bull Tennessee National. The U.S. 2025 downhill season is in full swing with an all-star lineup here at this classic venue. I'm your host, Rich Moore with the Gravity Coop, and we're excited to bring you all of the action as the weekend unfolds. 9 years running, this event is one of the biggest spotlights on U.S. downhill. And the bike park continues to grow as the big man of USDH, Aaron Gwynn, and his crew raise the bar here. We've got a stacked field of pros from around the world, titans like Omri Piron, Troy Brosnan, Lucas Shaw, and the young Lockie Stevens McNabb as he returns after clinching the win at last year's US Open.
He does it!
Women's Elite, we have a powerhouse lineup. Two-time world champ Miriam Nicole, US national champ Anna Newkirk, and US national junior champ Aletha Osgard as they battle our returning Tennessee national winner and local hero Frida Roning. The trail crew has embraced the character of Windrock, weaving fast speedway sections with its notorious raw nature. Add in lots of line choice and a fully revamped Red Bull Ravine, and the crowd is going to be going wild here at the finish line. Let's head down to the pits, check in with some of our racers to see how the course is developing throughout practice.
This year we spent a lot of time on the course, as we normally do. Jeremy and I are both very passionate about building cool racetracks. One thing that's really cool about Windrock is like our terrain is pretty gnarly, so it allows us to do some kind of crazy stuff.
It's an ultimate canvas. You know, it's one of the best canvases I've worked on in the world. It's not easy, but it's pretty fun, and as you can see, the track turned out awesome.
I live here, so I ride here quite a bit, and I think Aaron did a really good job with the track this year, slowing it down a bit, making it pretty challenging, which I'm excited about.
Right out of the gate, there's that first left-hander with an outside line, an inside line, and then a middle line. I've been sticking to the outside. Need to watch some GoPros from practice today and figure that out.
I tried going inside at first, like over kind of that rock drop bit, and then to the outside through there. Then I tried going outside. I think that worked a bit better for me. I was able to carry more speed out of the corner. I think that's going to be the main line for most riders as well.
One of the main sections of the track is the main rock garden in the middle after Talladega Straight. There's an inside line on the left of the tree, and then a round line on the right of the tree. It's faster going into the straight line, but then it squares off on the next corner. So it's just the little things like, okay, will this entrance be better than this one, but will there be like a consequence at the end?
I think the key stuff is all the little stuff in between, the little flat turns, making sure you're carrying speed out of stuff. I think there's one of the last corners that's getting pretty blown out that I crashed on in my last run. So hit your marks, be smooth, and not overriding it is key.
Pretty rare conditions for Windrock at the moment with the dust. Easy to like skid and miss your braking points, and then try and carry speed out of some of those pretty tech corners Aaron's made for us.
Another really key section is just the whole bottom part of the track with the Red Bull Ravine. It's very easy to ride, so just making sure you're 100% switched on during all that.
Probably the funnest part of the track is the new Red Bull Ravine. I can't even tell you the speed. It's probably 30, 40 miles an hour. And just some really big jumps, especially the finish line. Yeah, who knows, maybe throw out a big scrub for the race run, that'd be rad.
Well, I'm here with Ryan Pinkerton, who's seated first. Be dropping down the hill last today, Ryan. Conditions have changed a bit. Tell us a little bit about your seating run and how things have changed going into practice this morning.
My seating run was super good, just kind of put down a really smooth, solid run, hit all my lines, made sure not to do anything that I shouldn't do. With the rain overnight, the track I thought would be a little more slippery, but it's actually shaping up really good. The dirt should be really tacky, and it should be a super good one.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to a fast and wild race today, and good luck out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait for it.
All right, see you.
Yeah, see you there.
The Tennessee National is proudly presented by Aspire Park, the Southeast's largest free private park located just minutes from Knoxville and Windrock Bike Park. Aspire has something for everyone. From mountain bike trails, a world-class pump track, and paved flow trails, to fishing, hiking trails, a playground for the kids, and finally, the Pearl Restaurant, where Southern hospitality meets culinary delight. Aspire Park. Aspire more.
Will Washam here in the announcing booth with Sean Grizz McClendon. And Grizz, when you look at the seeding results from our pro women, this is an incredibly stacked field, the deepest field we've ever seen of U.S. and international talent here at the Red Bull Tennessee National. And when you look at the top of the list, we've got USA with a big gap.
We can see this is a pecking order shakedown race. The World Cuppers are right in the mix, but Alita Osgaard has been doing all of her off-season training here at Windrock, and she's basically said, hey, World Cuppers, welcome to my home mountain.
We've got 3 of the top 10 women from the World Cup overall standings here on this list. The European champ, the U.S. national champ, the Norwegian national champ, and the Swiss national champ, all trying to mix it up for the win at the Tennessee National. We've got our top 5 riders coming to you on the replay. First, we're going to start with our hot seat rider before we get to Anna Newkirk. And our hot seat rider kicking us off, none other than Frida Ronning, your Norwegian national champ, Windrock local, ready to throw down today.
And Will, you can already hear the grease on the tires. It's not going to be super sticky mud today. You can just, it's a wet ice rink. And rinse and repeat from 2024, all of these racers last year practiced in the dry, seeded in the dry, raced in the wet. So what I'm noticing from Frida out of the gate is she's riding on feel, which is a smart move. I mean, they didn't practice on this wet of a track coming into finals today.
Well, if anybody can feel out this gnarly middle finger rock section presented by HT, it's going to be Frida Ronning. She's a 3-time Tennessee national champ, made short work of that section.
Yeah, she really bumped up her intensity. Let's see how she manages this sticky, slick braking section right here. Wow, you see the bike just squirming around. Frida doing a great job keeping those wheels nice and steady. Really easy to slide out right there, Will.
Yeah, you can see a locals line right there from Frida holding it tight into the bridge as we see split number 115. So that's going to be about 13 seconds slower than our top split from yesterday. And Grizz, you mentioned these conditions have deteriorated all afternoon.
Yeah, you can see Frida looking a little tight on the bike, and that's not that, it's no fault of her own. She's just literally reacting to these unpredictable conditions that nobody practiced.
Here comes Ronning setting up for these steep and deep turns. It's where Frida really excels when things get technical. I know she's going to be loving the conditions today. It's going to allow the cream to rise to the top 220. Going to be Frida's time at split number 2. A couple new sections right here that we're seeing, Grizz.
Oh yeah, and the speeds are going to open right back up here. These riders are absolutely flying into this. I walking the track, I loved this corner. I thought it was going to be taped a little bit differently, but that outside line seems to be what all these riders are choosing.
Interesting to see how that develops as we progress in this women's field. Some brand new sections of track here, repurposing some old classic sections at Windrock. So we see those dust moto whoops for the first time, and Frida Ronning dropping into the Red Bull Ravine, something she's going to have unlock the winningest female racer ever here at Windrock Bike Park with 7 total wins throughout the Nationals and Downhill Southeast. Frida's going to set our hot seat time before our top 5 minutes of 3:17, Grizz. Really composed run by her.
Yeah, she kept it upright, and I think that is really the goal of the day. Hats off to Frida for making that happen.
So much steeper than it looks on camera. She just drifts around that left-hander. She did what she had to do to throw down the gauntlet with 5 more riders remaining. Our top 5 coming up right here. None other than U.S. national champ Anna Newkirk for Frameworks Racing 5 Dev, starting us off at 2:51 yesterday, Grizz. It's going to be tough to put down that time today.
You're right, Will. She's going to be aiming for somewhere around a 3-minute, maybe somewhere between 3:10 and under. And out of the gate, you can see Anna a little bit more in attack mode. Maybe she's kind of getting that Bruce Lee philosophy and being like water, flow like water.
Well, the top part of this track certainly flows, helps racers get up to pace, and then it gets mean here in the HT middle finger rock garden. Newkirk, you see what line she's on. She's going to hold it high over that big slab. It's looking greasy in there.
Yeah, she's just really letting the bike roll. You can see she's pretty relaxed on the bike, which is what it takes to ride in these slick conditions, keeping her wheels nice and straight in this tricky braking section. I like what I'm seeing out of Anna Newkirk. She's gelling with that Frameworks.
Setting up for this bridge drop as we see split number 1, and she's up by 3.19 seconds. Some good momentum being built here, splashing down through that spring. Sometimes that section's dragging mud onto the track, but plenty of mud to go around today. Oh, she loses a little bit of traction.
Yeah, but keeping it composed. I mean, that front wheel slid a good 6 inches to her right, and she's back on track in the good race line. Straight down the middle here. I mean, Anna Newkirk's having herself a great run. She's got whatever happens at the end of the day, she's going to feel good about this run going into the World Cup season.
Oh, and split number 2 green as well. 4.75 in the green on Frida Ronning, which really is a tall task. No one knows this mountain as well as Frida Ronning. It's impressive to see Anna come out here and piece together a run in these really tricky conditions, losing a little traction in the left-hander just like we saw Frida do, but nothing too much.
Newkirk looking really relaxed on the bike. It's almost like it didn't rain, but clearly it did. You can see in these really, really orange dirt sections, the traction looks pretty good through here. Rider's intensity is right up where it needs to be. As Newkirk blitzes these Dust Moto whoops.
Well, the Red Bull Ravine, the only thing between Anna Newkirk and the finish line here at the Tennessee National. Certainly one of the favorites to take the win here. Was up by 4 seconds on Ronning at split number 2. She's going to extend that for a 3:11, 6.5 seconds into the green for the 2-time U.S. National champ. She's claiming it, Grizz.
Yeah, and like I said, somewhere around a 3:10 or under. She's just outside that, but 3:11, respectable time considering these conditions. And I really liked, you could tell Anna was feeling herself right here, keeping that bike nice and straight. It's so easy to wash out right there, Will.
Yeah, that braking zone has gotten chewed up this weekend. 4 riders left to go in the Elite Women's Final. It's Lisa Baumann from Switzerland, Commensal Schwal by Lay Orr World Cup team. You see she's got the national champs flag right there on the left sleeve.
I'm really excited to watch this race run out of Lisa. World Cup pedigree. These riders are no stranger to these kind of conditions where they practice in one set of conditions and then race in completely other. And out of the gate, her intensity is right up at a 10, attacking the upper part of the track, Will.
Yeah, I could see her feeling the flow on those jumps, pumping some backsides, diving in to the middle finger rock garden. Quick work of it by Baumann, but that's what you should expect by a 2-time Enduro national champ as well.
Yeah, her pace is absolutely insane coming through those HT middle finger rock garden, and that, again, just managing that straightaway where they're heavy on the brakes. This is looking good, Will.
Well, split 1 tells us it's looking good on the clock as well. 1.5 seconds up on Newkirk. That is a big top split.
That section after that little spring is, I mean, those riders have about 4 inches where they need to keep their tires, and there's some roots that can just end your day real quick. So great composure out of Lisa. Her intensity is still maintaining at a 10. She's nice and relaxed on the bike. Her form is solid.
Taking her time right there through those steep switchbacks, but that's okay because you can really get caught out there, and she's still green. She's extended 2.4 into the green here. And Grizz, I can't believe the accolades that Baumann's already accomplished in her career. A snow bike world champion, in addition to the 2024 European champ. She dives to the outside.
Well, I think some of that snow bike experience is coming into play today. This track is riding like an ice rink, so you can tell she's comfortable with it.
These new sections down here on the OG Windrock spine really allowing for line choice. Dust Moto whoops not a problem for Lisa Baumann, dropping into the Red Bull Ravine. So much dirt moved by those Kubota USA machines to get this section primed and ready for the Tennessee National. Baumann's going to come up to this final jump. Was a couple seconds up at split number 2. She's going to lose a little bit of time, but she goes fastest. Bumps Anna Newkirk back to second. It's a 3:10, Grizz, right where you thought they needed to be.
That's what I'm calling. Somewhere between a 3:10 and under. We'll get a podium performance today. Maybe 3:05 runner is going to get the win.
Well, we only have 3 riders to go. Marine Cabirou out of France riding for that new ride this year, Canyon Collective Factory Team.
Really excited to watch her race here at Windrock. Again, all this World Cup experience, she's got the chops to handle the day. It was looking so slick up top here, Will, but intensity is right up there at a 10.
Well, you can see Marine riding loose, already letting both wheels drift in that tight opening section. She's going to set up really wide here, carrying some pace on that Talladega section. Oh, and not messing about in the HT middle finger rock garden. That was pinned.
Oh, she just crushed the HT middle finger rock garden. Managing, look, keeping the bike nice and straight, managing her speed. Beautiful execution out of that corner over that big slab rock. And Will, you pointed out she's looking really relaxed on the bike. I mean, that's what it takes in these conditions. The more tight you are, and she's green at split one. Will, it's tight, but she is green.
Oh, she is right where she needs to be. Coach Fabian Burrell will be proud of these on-point braking zones, allowing Cabarrou to carry pace on this treacherous track here in Windrock. Grizz, she's certainly at the sharp end of the women's racing all over the world. Was second in the World Cup overall in 2024. She's been doing it at the top level for a long time now.
Yeah, let's see what Marine can do in these switchbacks coming up. We saw Lisa give a little bit of time there, but it can be worth it. What's split 2 telling us? Ooh.
She's just
right in
the
touch,
back.
Will.
Yeah, she's right where she needs to be, and she slayed those switchbacks, I might add. I assumed that was going to be extended there, but if anyone can carry pace on these wide open World Cup style sections, it's going to be Cabarrou. Oh, she's up in the weeds right there.
Yeah, really, really hugging the outside tape there. Bit of a mistake. She's given up some time. Actually giving up a lot of time. You need to carry some serious pace coming into this lower Red Bull ravine.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be costly. On the clock, Cabarrou just slithers around the outside right there. Incredible.
Yeah, back on it. She's feeling it. She's relaxed. You can tell by the body English. Nice and smooth through the dust moto. Whoops.
Oh, and no one's going to be faster on these bottom jumps than Marine Cabarrou. She just put it to the field at the Snowshoe World Cup at those bottom triple sections. Surely Cabarrou going to get some time back on these final jumps. And she's green by 300s, Grizz.
Wow, she reeled it back in towards the bottom after a big mistake. But you know what? She made up a ton of time. I think this is where she really, really made up some serious time, was through this HT middle finger rock garden, which this is heinous. I mean, these compressions are gnarly.
Well, with 2 riders left to go, Grizz, it's none other than Miriam Pom-Pom Nicole, 2-time world champion, 18-time World Cup winner, searching for a big win here on U.S. soil.
Will, Miriam was looking comfortable all weekend at Windrock. Again, it's about how can she manage this race run with these unpredictable conditions that nobody got any seat time on.
Well, if anyone can do it, it's going to be Miriam Nicole, 35 years old. She is one of the greatest female downhill racers of all time, approaching this heinous HT middle finger rock garden. Let's see where Miriam goes. Oh, she's going outside.
Oh, yeah, you see that World Cup experience just blitzing the HT middle finger.
A really important section right here to set up, all composed, letting both of those wheels drift out.
Yep, sliding a little bit low, losing a little bit of time, but she can reel that back in. There's plenty of track left to go.
Oh, and Grizz, she's back by 3.5, so maybe something we missed off camera. Maybe the pace just isn't quite there out of the gate in these mixed conditions.
It's possible, but I'm also seeing Miriam, she's slipping and sliding, and it looks like she's riding a little bit tighter as this race run develops, which no fault of her own. I mean, I'm so glad I'm not racing anymore. These are the days that are like a rider's nightmare.
Yeah, these conditions at Windrock, absolutely heinous. Such a unique place. Certainly a world-class test for these riders. Nicole clean there through those switchbacks. Look at split number 2. She's continued to lose a little bit of time, so she's back to 4th place.
Yeah, well, what I'm seeing is she's just trying to hold the bike upright. She is riding a little bit tighter, and it's costing her time, as we see.
Was the Frenchwoman Marine Cabarrou, who is currently in the hot seat as Nicole navigates that left-hander that gave Cabarrou some problems.
Yeah, Miriam had a great line. I like that wide, basically hugging the outside tape. And here she comes.
Oh, speaking of hugging the tape, almost hopping the pole.
Yeah, look at that setup. Love that setup. Going outside to inside.
Quick work of those.
Hanging up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a hang up on those whoops.
Yeah, don't want to give back any time down here in the Red Bull Ravine as Miriam Nicole makes her way down to this finish line jump. She's back by 6 seconds on Maureen Cabarrou. We do know that she had a little bit of a better time in a turn, but it's going to be 4th place outside the top 3. But Miriam safely through that run, ready for the rest of her season.
Yeah, well, it's just an indication. I mean, Miriam Nicole has all the pedigree in the world, and she just showed how difficult the day actually is.
And that leaves us with one woman at the top of the hill, Aletha Osgard on the Canyon Collective Factory team. Took a big win in seeding yesterday. Can she repeat today, Grizz?
Will, you heard that motor revved up as she dropped into the gate, and Aletha is revved up. Look at her absolutely just sprinting everywhere she possibly can. She's riding it like it didn't rain today.
Yeah, looked really aggressive in those first 2 corners. You know, I think that's going to be a strategy that can really pay off, as we've seen some riders kind of go back and forth between being aggressive and then kind of letting the bike ride them. It's going to all be on display here at this HT Middle Finger Rock Garden.
Oh, Allie blows a foot out, but great rebound, great recovery. She made me stutter right there, Will.
And some incredible riding right there after that heavy braking zone. Just letting the bike dance underneath her and inside off that rock spine. Split 1 coming right up.
Aletha Osgard riding it at 11 on the intensity scale, and she's 0.3 up into the green, Will. It's tight, but she is up.
The crowd is going to be getting revved up at the bottom here at Windrock. The American hero, last rider to drop green there. It's split 1. And she's taking some dicey lines.
She's just hanging it out, Will. I mean, she's blowing her feet out. This is reminiscent of like old Chris Kavaric, Sam Hill in their prime.
Aletha absolutely on the limit as she goes drifting through that corner.
Holy cow. Hold it together, Aletha.
And she's still green.
How was she green?
She is still green.
How was she doing this?
She's just putting it all behind her, letting all those mistakes just be in the past. There's plenty of opportunity to carry speed down here. She's still being aggressive.
I mean, that's a great point. The race isn't over until you cross the finish line. She's blown her feet out countless number of times, and she's still green at every split. Her intensity of not going as wide as the Frenchies here, but look at that exit speed right there on point. Not losing much time at all there,
That
Will.
was as good as you could do it. We know that Cabarrou made a little mistake in that corner. Osgard trying to hold on. She's throwing everything she can at this race run. She's been one of the top riders in the world since she was 14.
It's insane. She's racing age 16, riding like she's 24 years old with almost a decade of World Cup experience under her belt.
We can hear the crowd revving it up here at the bottom. Last rider down the hill, Aletha Osgard. Can she take down Maureen Cabarrou? And it's a 3:05.33. What an incredible time. Aletha Osgard takes the win.
Back-to-back 4-second margins. Aletha Osgard just let it all hang out, and it paid off.
Grizz, my mind is blown. Watch this riding right here. So composed. Drifting.
Drifting, but composed. I mean, that was it. She just did not care. Kept it upright, and it paid off.
Our full top 10 breakdown from the pro women at the 2025 Red Bull Tennessee National. Aletha Osgard with that 4-second winning margin. What a race, Grizz.
Unbelievable. These conditions were absolutely brutal. We can look at that top 5. In fact, all of the top 10, there was a lot of musical chairs. Top 5 seated riders all finished within the top 5, but Maureen Cabarrou stepped it up. Anna Newkirk stepped it up. Miriam Nicole had that little bit of a tight run, and it cost her several positions.
And you look at the bottom half of this top 10, Frida Ronning still right there in the mix on her own race program for this season. And then we've got some of the young up-and-comers of U.S. downhill rounding out the top 10 with Xana Logar, Julia Lufquist, Taylor Osgard, and Maylee Lenal.
I am so excited. I really don't have words. It was a really, really muddy race, so like obviously nothing's gonna be perfect. Had a couple moments where I was doing the airplane with both legs out. It was like a slippery race where you were like, oh, don't die. It was just like a hope and pray. I won this absolutely sick axe. This thing is dope. Thank you, Lauren, Gwyn, and Aaron Gwyn. Thank you.
Well, our results from the seeding session yesterday for the pro men, Grizz, in very different conditions. It was a dry and dusty Windrock, not what we're going to see on screen here in just a few minutes, but it was Ryan Pinkerton, the young American, on top of that seeding session at 228.95 with some real slim margins in this world-class top 10.
Will, I was not surprised to see Pinkerton seed first. He was riding practice like he just did not care. Also, not surprised to see Lockie Stevens-McNabb and Tyler Waite right there, separated by just a few 100ths. Word is they've been doing that all season long down in New Zealand. And we've got a sleeper, Cole Sweettoast, local boy. He's been out in Tennessee for over a year now. He might be able to throw it down a podium run today.
Well, we had nearly 70 pros here in the elite men's field. This is our hot seat rider before we get to the top 10, and it's Till Alren from Commensal Muck Off by Riding Addiction. 2 podiums last year, Grizz, on the Junior World Cup. That just shows the depth of the field here at the Tennessee National.
Not surprised Till was on the box a couple times last season. He was looking really comfortable all weekend in practice here at Windrock. And Will, what I'm noticing is this track is drying out pretty nice. So as long as the rain holds off, this track should be improving run by run.
Till wasting no time going right down the gut there in the HT middle finger rock garden. Big braking section right here. Oh, he's anchored it up well.
Yeah, it's looking like it's no big deal for Till. No squirming of the bike. He was able to manage that extremely difficult braking point. Good setup into the bridge here.
It's a 101.88 on that split like we've seen in our pro women's race. Time certainly slower today. It was a 56.86. That was our top first split from yesterday.
Yeah, you know, in the Category 1 racers before pros dropped in, they were a telltale sign that the track was certainly running slower. And, you know, I was thinking with the rain overnight, maybe the track would speed up a little bit, but nope. It's just a few seconds slower, if not, you know, somewhere around 10 seconds slower than yesterday.
But I'm loving the rhythm of Till Alren's riding. You can see he's just gapping, bunny hopping, trying to get some downside on these big compressions.
I mean, this is exactly what I saw him doing in practice, just having a great time, tons of flow on the bike. You can see him managing his speed great through there, good early braking. Look at the exit speed.
Oh yeah, Alren putting on a clinic here before we even get into the top 10. Just a quick bump jump manual. Get out of those dust moto whoops.
Yeah, Will, it'll be interesting to see the different lines in the dust moto whoops. I think going 3 in, 3 out was the quickest that I saw in practice. We'll see if they're able to do that today.
It'll be a 2:42 for Till Alren. Starting off our broadcast here as we wait for our top 10. We're going to see Antoine Piron, Cole Sweettoast, Amaury Piron, Matt Walker, and Max Alren, our next 5 riders. Take another look at that whoops rhythm.
So yeah, he's just keeping it low. Wow, kind of cased up that third whoop and just making it work today.
Well, we've got none other than Aaron Gwynn from Gwynn Racing here at Windrock Bike Park, if you will, the new proprietor here at Windrock. What an amazing job the new crew have done to get this park up to the world-class standard here, holding the Red Bull Tennessee National.
Oh, you know this track has the Gwynfluence all over it. You know, he was talking about a lot of the sections where they were kind of shooting the track back slightly uphill so that the riders could check up. And what that means, you'll see the track, it didn't develop the way I thought it might. What's Gwynny got for us here in the HT Middle Finger Rock Garden clean. He was playing around with a few different lines and he opted for that main line, but I did see him ride the inside line in practice.
Oh yeah, the line's looking nice and clean. He's going to set up well for this bridge. Gapping off that bridge. Oh, and he's right in touch with Alren, just 0.23 back at split number 1.
Oh, look at the brakes just evaporating that rain. So you know those brakes are cooking.
And I love these new natural sections that they've thrown in, like you were talking about, Grizz. Tons of line choice. Some classic turns coming up right here, too. The steep ones. They've been here for years.
Yeah, and look at Gwynn getting a nice, tidy setup, getting his braking done early. Oh, kind of stalling out in that turn. He's giving up a little time.
Obviously still right there on pace, just 0.85 back at split number 2.
He's going to need to push here in the lower Red Bull Ravine. He's got to get a 242 or better if he wants to take the hot seat. Taking that French line. Nice, hugging the tape. Good exit speed out of that tricky corner.
when you gotta think that Aaron Gwynn's gonna be able to really open it up on that new Crestline bike here on the lower sections. Tons of track to play with. Oh, in through the dust moto whoops. That was the triple in right there, Grizz.
Yeah, that is the fast line that I saw in practice. And what I'm also noticing is Gwynn is looking absolutely back on form, not seeing any compensation in the arms. He's looking like he's just ready to rock.
And Aaron Gwynn's going to cross in second place at 2:43.29, so just about a second back on Till Allran. Great to see Gwynn out here giving us a race run.
Yeah, that was a good run. I mean, this is his home bike park. This is his bike park, and he rode it like he lives here. I mean, to be in touch to Till on this day, great riding.
Well, here's Dante Silva. Silva on a new intense program this year. Great to see him out here at the Tennessee National, a rider that's really been coming of age the last 5 years, Grizz.
Yeah, Dante's really getting along with that new Intense M1. You know, I was talking with him the other day about it. When he was on the Canyon, the Canyon looked like it was unsettled, and I'm already noticing, I mean, Dante is just glued to the ground. I think his riding style and that bike are just peanut butter and jelly.
Boy, he's making quick work of the peanut butter right there in the HT middle finger rock garden. Silva familiar here with Windrock, as most of the U.S. riders are. Oh, he's got a nice little gap line off that rock spine.
And you know, Dante being focused on just U.S. racing this year, he's going to want to get a podium finish this weekend. And he's green, Will. He's in touch. 3 100ths up, but look at the riding from Dante Silva. He's making minimal mistakes, and his pace is just lit.
Silva right there on the sharp end, slicing and dicing some lines there through the rocks. A big pre-hop onto that camber.
Yeah, he pre-hopped those down trees into the middle line. You know, I saw Gwynny going pre-hop to low line, but I don't think that's going to work today. Oh, making a little bit of a cross up. He didn't get a setup just right there, but look, he's lost a little bit of time. He'll need to reel that back in. He can possibly do it. He's got some high-speed sections coming up here with the Red Bull Ravine.
Oh yeah, it's going to be right up Dante Silva's alley. He's got the foot out, trying to make sure he anchors up there in the left hand, but nothing between him and the finish line, but some high-speed turns, couple jumps, moto whoops. We got to see what his line is here.
Yeah, you know, and Dante had a big crash on that bridge that we just saw a second ago in practice and somehow managed to get out of it unscathed. So we could put it between the tape here for finals.
Yeah, Silva looking right at home here in the Red Bull Ravine. Scrubbing that finish line jump to the inside. He goes third. 2:43.49, so 1.13 back on that time until Allran still in the hot seat.
You can just see Dante's composure in this HT middle finger rock garden. Again, peanut butter and jelly, Dante Silva in that Intense M1.
And we are into our top 10. Antoine Piron riding back for Commensal Schwab Leor. Piron, the younger of the Piron brothers. Oh, and he's on the edge of the course.
Oh, just smacking the tape. All right. I'd like to see it. He's riding with aggression, clearly not afraid of the rain. Speaking of rain, do you hear that, Will?
I can hear that.
It sounds like it's drizzling.
Down. Yeah. Oh, man. These are just mean conditions here at Windrock. The rocks are already so greasy here in the HT middle finger section. Piron, short work out of it. Incredible exit speed.
I'm impressed. I mean, it is drizzling on this, man. Oh, yeah, you can see the track getting greasy once again. It's got that slick sheen. But you know what? These French riders, they were built for this kind of stuff. I mean, they've never backed down. Look at that. Yeah, 2.4 back. So the track's certainly getting a lot trickier with this rain coming down.
Oh, look at Piron on the pedals right there. Trying to find every bit of time he can. It's his 7th season in Elite on the World Cup level, Grizz. Lots of experience for the Piron brothers.
Well, that experience is coming through. I mean, he's dealing with rain and he's riding like whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I got a job to do here. I'm going to get down this track as fast as I possibly can.
Lost just a bit of time there. He's 4th at split number 2. But certainly a rider that's already up to pace this season. He took a French Cup win earlier this year, and you know how hard those French Cup wins are to come by these days.
Oh, yeah, the French are definitely flying. There's a deep depth of talent over there. But there's a deep depth of talent here in the U.S., as we've just seen Gwynny and Dante Silva throw it up. for the Stars and Stripes. They're in the top 3 right now.
Piron in and out of the dust moto whoops, keeping it low down into the Red Bull Ravine. Such a classic finishing section here in U.S. downhill. Been taken up a little bit this year. They built these jumps up just a bit more at Windrock this year for the Nationals. Anton Piron, he's going to go 4th. 248.03. Pretty tidy run right there, Grizz, but looks like you're going to have to push a bit harder than that today.
Yeah, I think Antoine just unfortunately caught the wrong time of day to drop in. He drops in and it's raining. And you got to give your hats off to this dude for making the most of the situation. I mean, look at the water just melting off the rotor.
Cole Sweetos in the start house, riding for Insta360 and ZFR Racing, Zanoni Factory Racing. Big East Coast presence from that team this year.
Love to see it. It's kind of a privateer independent team program. Cole being the newest member. So Cole actually had a pinky injury. Dumbest bone in the body is what he told me. So he's been kind of off the bike coming into this race, but he's been in the gym, and he was stoked to put it in the top 10 in seating.
Oh, and look at the rhythm and flow right there on those Talladega jumps. Sweetos diving straight into middle finger. That is incredibly fast. It's like the man lives here or something, Grizz.
Yeah, local line. Look at him charging this tricky braking section. I mean, it's harder than it looks, folks. Cole making quick work, hitting his marks. Let's check his setup into this turn. Beautiful.
Well, he's a little bit off the pace, 2.4 back, but I got to say that was one of the fastest looking rock sections we've seen so far today.
Yeah, I think, again, the track speed, because of that little drizzle that hit, it has slowed up. This is one of those weekends where I was thinking, I even called it earlier, I'm like, maybe you want to seed intentionally slower just based on what the weather's going to do on Sunday. So they're definitely, look at how greasy it is, Will.
Oh, Sweetos goes down there.
He's down. Visor's off. Cole Sweetos. Well, he tried to make lemonade.
Yeah, I just completely
he still got his
lost
visor
it in
just
that
flipped way up.
right-hander. Hate to see
Visor's
it.
gone. He's going bullet head. Let's see if that'll have any kind of advantage. Oh, Nate Kitchen with a flat tire staying out of the way.
Well, what could have been for Cole Sweetos certainly looked pinned, Grizz, at the top of this run. Unfortunately, not going to be able to hold it together. It's probably not the last rider we'll see go down today.
No, it's pretty easy to do. Cole, unfortunately, just caught some of that rain. And bullet head isn't going to give him enough of an edge with the aerodynamics to make up that almost 11-second gap after split 2.
Cole really has put together some incredible race runs here over the years. He was the 2024 Downhill Southeast winner. All the scrubs on the young man. That's insane. Enjoy this.
Yeah, may as well get some style in to a run that just didn't go your way.
Well, Cole Sweetos not going to be the result he wanted today. It's a long season ahead of us, though, in USDH. We're just getting started up.
Yeah, Cole disappointed clearly, as he should be. He was hoping to repeat that top 10. We're about to see where it all went down. It is just so slick out there right now, Will.
Could not quite hold it together. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens as we're well inside the top 10 now, going to our 8th-seeded rider, Amaury Piron from Common Sol Muck-Off by Riding Addiction. I have a feeling he's going to finish this one a little higher than 8th, Grizz.
He's certainly got the potential to do so. I was thinking coming into today that the World Cup, the European World Cuppers, I mean, they're built for this. This is what they're used to. Practicing in one condition, racing in another.
And this guy is back to his absolute best with an incredible 2024 on the World Cup, taking 2 wins.
Amaury looking dangerously fast in the HT Middle Finger Rock Garden.
So composed coming in here to this rock spot. He just about gaps over the entire thing.
Yeah, and did you see his front wheel push like 7 inches on that route, and it didn't phase him a bit?
Oh, and he's right where he wants to be. 0.3 into the green. Our first challenger from this hot seat time that we've seen in a while. Piron able to put the pieces together here in these treacherous conditions at Windrock Bike Park.
Well, Piron's teammate is currently in the hot seat, so Amaury is looking to go 242 and change or faster. Not only does he want to get a podium finish this weekend, he wants to be the top of the pecking order for his program.
Oh, of course, especially a racer with this pedigree. 17-time World Cup winner is going to dive into these steep corners like they are nothing. Taking an overall World Cup Series champ. Oh, and he's extending. He's right there, 0.4 into the green.
Will, this is insane. Omri is riding nearly like it's dry, and it's safe to say he has a way more difficult track to ride than his teammate did just a few minutes ago. You can just see that sheen building up, and Omri does not care.
Now he's slicing and dicing on that outside line. Omri Piron really starting to open it up here, able to use all of this new widened out bottom section the Windrock Bike Park crew put together. Manuals in a double manual out in the Red Bull Ravine.
Oh, you know he's fit. To get a manual through those Dust Moto whoops this deep into the run, those legs are ready to go World Cupping any day.
Well, Omri Piron came over here to the USA. Maybe it's a preseason race, but I think he'd tell you he's trying to take the win. Oh, and he's going to cross fastest just by 0.12. What an incredible run.
Unbelievable. Look at the rain collected on his goggle lens right there, pulling a tear off. You've got to wonder why he didn't pull it off and going into the Red Bull Ravine, but amazing riding from Omri Piron, especially through this HT middle finger rock garden. Look at this pace.
Just riding it like it was dry, like you said, Grizz. Incredibly impressive stuff. And we are just getting heated up here. We've got more World Cup talent on tap. Matt Walker from Trek Factory Downhill, the British rider on track.
This man could be a sleeper today. Again, the Brits, no stranger to these type of conditions. Look at those rocks looking really slick. Matt Walker looking really sharp. Plenty of traction. He's got his intensity up right where it needs to be.
Yeah, he's certainly right at the sharp end, and he's been at the sharp end of World Cup racing for a number of years now. Had a huge win. His latest win was in 2022 at Leogang. Oh, he's getting buck wild in here.
Oh, yeah, just doesn't care. Smashing the HT middle finger rock guard. No big deal for Matt Walker. Getting the back end to step out just a little bit, keeping it composed. Much tighter than what we just saw from Omri Piron. You know, Omri's front tire slid about 7-8 inches. Matt Walker keeping it nice and straight.
Oh, and throwing it off that bridge with reckless abandon, but he's back by 2.17.
Yeah, where did he lose that time? I mean, he was looking great from what we could see. Maybe he made a slight mistake off camera, getting that back end of the Trek to step out just a little bit.
And we've seen some riders taking pedals there, Grizz, but it was all pumps for Matt Walker.
Yeah, all pumps and inside lines. Can he make it through that corner that took out old Cole Sweetdos? Yes, he can. So, yeah, I think Matt may be riding just a little bit tighter than he'd like. Losing a little bit of time in these switchbacks.
Yeah, just bleeding a little bit of time everywhere. So he's going to be more than 6 seconds back. He's down to 7th place.
Yeah, but now he's back on the cranks. He's got his work cut out for him. Not a whole lot of room to make up time from here to the bottom. Hugging the tape as he needs to be. Oh, that's going to cost him a little bit more time. He really needed to execute that section perfect to have a shot at making up any time. So what can he do bringing it into the finish for us, Will?
Well, it's such a mentally taxing run. Like, the tech just does not stop coming at you. And you add in these conditions here. I mean, it's just going to take a really strong racer to put it all together today. And I'm just so stoked we get to see all the best riders in the world hitting this Red Bull Ravine section. Love to see everybody cutting off that last jump. Matt Walker going to put it down to the finish line. 6th place for the Trek Factory Racing rider. 7.7 seconds off the pace, not where he wants to be. Season's still very young. Let's take a look back up at the run.
Yeah, Matt Walker, I mean, he just sent it deep into split one right here. But look at the conditions are just brutal. This off-camera section bit, man, it can end your day quick. So hats off to Matt Walker for keeping it upright.
Well, and the conditions continuing to deteriorate as you hear the rain pouring down as Max Allren, your junior overall World Cup winner from last year, current European junior champ, dropping in.
Max, again, one of the riders that was looking comfortable all practice and seeding. I hear the rain dropping again, so it looks like he's getting a bit of bad luck just with the timing that he's dropping in. He's got his work cut out for him. We know when the rain comes down, the track does slow up quite a bit.
Oh, the rhythm here in the HT middle finger rock garden. It's so heinous, so awkward. And Allren looking butter smooth. Oh, a little bit of a slip up right there on those roots.
Oh, yeah, you can just see the sheen in that clay really starting to shine just from the last 2 runs. Amaury had a tough run, and yep, 1.92 back, so the weather playing a huge, huge factor in today's finals.
Well, and I can't believe that the top two riders still just separated by 1/10 of a second, with Henri Piron sitting on the hot seat. Teammates with the junior Max Allren had a big battle all season long with Asa Vermette last year, so a lot of American fans will be familiar with Max and his brother Till.
Yep, if you're following World Cups, you know what the deal is. Not here in the rain down here, so yeah, it sounds like the rain is just kind of focusing right on the top section of the track. Losing a little bit more time here at split 2 for Allren.
Still going to be in 4th place, though. There'll be 5 more riders to go once Max crosses the finish line as he's loose there in the left-hander. And he's still riding with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he is. I mean, all of these World Cuppers are showing what they're made of, dealing with these horrendous conditions on race day here at Windrock.
Oh, that was slick right there. Allren with a little clip out, clip right back in. I think he's pulling some time back right here, Chris.
Yeah, clean execution through the dust moto whoops, getting the style up so you know he's comfortable. I mean, this is one of the only sections where these riders actually get a moment to relax, the Red Bull Ravine.
Yeah, a couple seconds in the air, and Allren doesn't pull back much time. He's still going to be 4th place, currently 3 seconds into the red. Looks like he might have left a little time out there.
Yeah, I think if the weather was a little bit different for him, he probably would have been closer to that 242 and change set by Henri Piron, but again, hats off to Allren for keeping it upright. That was a sick foot-out corner, right back into the clips. He's ready to go World Cupping.
Tyler Waite, the New Zealand rider for Yeti Fox Factories, the current Oceania Continental champ and the junior national champ from New Zealand.
That's right. You know, my friend down in New Zealand, Kieran Bennett, we were talking on the OTB podcast earlier this week about this man, and Kieran called out Tyler as a sleeper, potentially a podium contender. Well, welcome back, Yeti Fox Factory Racing to downhill. You've been missed.
Oh, hell yeah. So great to have Yeti back. I mean, one of the iconic downhill race teams. Oh, and Waite not waiting about here. He's going to drop a right foot. I don't think that lost him any time, though, Grizz.
No. He took a note from Ali Osgaard and knows that you can have a foot right there and still clean house.
Hey, look at these lines. I feel like he's cutting inside everywhere.
Yeah, he's doing a great job reacting to what the track is forcing him to do. You know, he probably wants to be in a different place, but hey, 4.13 back, you can tell this track is brutal right now.
Oh, but Tyler Waite taking it to this track, riding with an aggression that we hadn't seen. A couple riders doubling some routes in here.
You know, the Kiwis love this kind of tech right here. And that was one of the sections, see, the track kind of shifted uphill so the riders could check up, be a little bit less on the brakes. Oh, a little foot out, getting through that corner that took out Cole Sweetos.
Tyler Waite putting on a cornering clinic here. Feet up right there. Grabs a power crank. Split 2. Wow, he's lost so much time. 6.5 back. Did not expect to see that.
Oh, yeah, and just getting the bike sideways right there. You can tell by the sheen on the track, it is just getting tougher and tougher. So that rain is penetrating through these trees and just saturating the slick clay here at Windrock.
Well, for those who haven't experienced a wet race at Windrock, I mean, this place is insanely slick, but Waite still slicing up insides.
Oh, yeah, chopping to the inside there, into the dust moto whoops. What? Getting stylish. Love it.
Just a quick rear wheel tap, and I'm out for Tyler Waite. Well, it's not going to be a winning run, but it sure was an exciting run here at the Red Bull Tennessee National. Waite going to whip it out. He goes 8th place. 6.72 back, and man, what a promising career for this young rider out of New Zealand.
Absolutely, and respectable time to get under 250 in these brutal conditions. Taking a note from Melita Osgaard here. He's about to take a dab, save it, get it right back on track, and just smack the inside of this exit berm. See you later. See you at the World Cups, Tyler.
Well, Lachlan Stevens McNabb, one of the hottest downhill riders on the planet right now, riding for Trek Factory Downhill.
You know, and I was calling Lockie out as a potential winner going into this weekend. You know, he won the U.S. Open last year, closing out 2024 with a fat paycheck, followed up by a strong result at Mount St. Anne. So what can the Kiwi do for us today?
HT middle finger, rock garden. right down that inside. Stevens McNabb on rails on that outside line.
You can see the experience shining through. He's riding with great composure, considering how slick it is out there right now, Will.
Big double off the bridge. And it's treacherous up there, and he's been down, it looks like, Grizz. A lot of dirt on the left-hand side. That would make sense when you look at the clock 5 seconds back.
Yeah, I'm wondering where he went down. Maybe there's a long left-hand corner going into the HT middle finger rock garden. That would make sense, is where he would have potentially gone down off camera. Yeah, and you can see he's backed off his pace, intensity. He's just trying to get down the hill, keep it upright. No need to get injured. This is a preseason shakedown ride.
Well, it's going to be tough to touch that time Amory Piron. You see Stevens McNabb dicing up another inside line right there. So many options down here on the lower section of this track. I love what we're seeing, getting these riders to put all their skills on display.
Yeah, well, hats off again to the Windrock Trail crew. They had all categories racing on the same track, so this track was taped off extremely wide with giving the Cat 2-3 riders safe line options in mind. So for the pros, there was the appearance of a lot of lines, but there was really, really basically one race line with a few exceptions here and there.
Well, Stevens McNabb putting that back wheel to work through the dust moto whoops. He's going to finish up his bid for the 2025 Red Bull Tennessee National. 8th place, 5.68 into the red. Some pretty inspired riding up there.
You got to wonder, had he not gone down, he could have potentially been in the hot seat. I mean, you got to think a crash that we didn't see cost him 6 seconds or better. So hats off to Lockie for going sub 250 with a crash in the mud.
Yeah, that's a good point, Grizz. There's still time to be had out here on track, and we've got our 3 fastest riders from seeding waiting at the top to throw down. Let's kick off this top 3 with Luca Shaw from the Canyon Collective Factory team at 2:29 yesterday. And Grizz, this is a race he doesn't have a win on his resume yet.
Oh, and you know he wants it. We've been seeing Luca clean house at the Downhill Southeast Series. He's been opting to run that front brake rotor guard, which I think is a great call today, or any day where it's wet. So let's see if Luca can hold it together in these brutal conditions and get on top.
Yeah, definitely looked like he was just feeling it out up there, trying to understand what the traction's going to be. This is a rock garden that Luca has smashed many a time over his downhill career. Looked pretty clean to me, Grizz.
Oh, he had plenty of encouragement from the fans. I hear the USA chants coming from the Freedom Fighters in the HT Middle Finger Rock Garden. Lucas Shaw has felt it out. Seeing that nose bonk, he's getting comfortable, Will. Can he turn it up? Let's see what split 1 is going to tell us.
Well, he's 2 seconds back, but we've seen folks be a lot more off the pace, and we know this track's going to open up just a little bit more.
Yeah, Luca has a tendency to build into his race run, so 2 seconds to make up. I think he can do it, barring any catastrophic failures like this corner from what we saw earlier in Colsuitos, while Luca opting for a leg out, so you know that corner is slick as ice.
Yeah, the track just unforgiving here at Windrock when the rain starts coming down from the sky. And the time has passed him by, 7.19 seconds back. The pace was looking a little bit off right there in the last couple shots.
Yeah, it's got to be pace because the kid is clean. He hasn't gone down. But also, Luca might just be going, hey, I haven't won here yet, but I've got a long season ahead of me, and you can't win the war when you lose a battle and go down. So maybe he's just opting to play it safe, which would be smart. He's got a long World Cup season ahead of him, Will.
Oh, man. And he is just
ride the bull.
Yeah, he's getting bucked all over the place. The red clay here in Windrock rearing its ugly head with this amount of moisture, especially the rain coming down during this Pro Men's final. But you know the fans going to bring Lucas Shaw home, former U.S. national champ, with a little scrub. 9.91 back. What could have been today?
Yeah, you know, and again, going back to Lockie going under 250 with the crash. Man, that run could have been dangerous. But Luca making some unusual, uncharacteristic errors right here. I mean, watch him blow that outside foot out and hold it together. Barely. Whew.
Well, look at his teammate Troy Brosnan on the Canyon Collective Factory team dropping in right now and getting loose right in that very first corner, testing the limits.
Oh, just straight up attacking. May as well get familiar with this track with, no fear. That's, and Australians, they have historically been great reactive riders, right? So they don't care what the conditions are. It's no worries, mate. Just going to pull the brain out and send it.
Well, everybody should be taking notes today on the broadcast of that clinic that Brosnan just put on in the HT Middle Finger Rock Garden, and the pace is there, Grizz.
Holy cow, Troy Brosnan is flying, Will. Are you kidding me?
Troy said, what rain? What are you guys talking about? Treacherous conditions. I'm sending it, and he's in the green. He is 0.29 up.
He is up. I mean, he rode hardline earlier this year, so you got to think he's probably not scared. It's just a little bit of rain. What's the big deal?
Oh, he is throwing that canyon into these corners like the pace. Oh, lost the front wheel just a smidge. Couldn't get that pre-hop down into the compression, but no feet out on that slippery off camber.
Yeah, feet up, fully committed. I can't believe he held it together. That tree nearly took his back end out. Oh, good exit space. The corners, those switchbacks are brutal today, Will, so the exit speed is critical.
Yeah, he's lost just a little bit of time, but he's riding with such authority here. Lost about a second there. Brosnan will be able to find some creative lines right here. 2 feet up.
Yeah, man, those switchbacks really ate into his time. He was green at split 1. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants to do 242 or better to get in the hot seat.
Oh, keeping it nice and low over those dust moto whoops. Brosnan is into the Red Bull Ravine. Was just 1 second back at split number 2. What can Brosnan do here? Took a win at the last World Cup of the season last year, and he goes second, Grizz. Less than a second off the pace of Amaury Piron.
Wow, so that 242 is a really hot time for the day. Man, I mean, Troy just threw down. He made those mistakes in the lower bit, which did cost him. Again, you got to wonder, had he been able to manage those switchbacks a little bit better, would he be in the hot seat?
Well, we have one final rider to go. It is the young American Ryan Pinkerton from Mondraker Factory Racing. First in seating yesterday, and you got to think he's been getting some tips from his teammate Dakota Norton this weekend.
Oh, you would imagine so. And Pinkerton has just been riding with zero worries this weekend. Just saw him destroy his chain. He actually snapped a chain in Friday's practice. He's been riding with nothing short of just pure aggression.
Well, that is certainly Ryan Pinkerton's style as he drops in to the HD Middle Finger Rock Garden. Oh, brilliant pace.
Great pace, great encouragement from the fans. Keeping his tires nice and straight.
Oh,
whoa,
my gosh.
Big save on that slippery route. But you know what? We saw Amaury Piron do nearly the same, so maybe that's what it takes to be on top of the box today.
Oh, yeah. He's up 0.2 into the green. Sometimes you make a save like that, and it just fires you up even more because you know you're feeling it. Pinky just sending it into those corners.
Pinky, he looks like he's pissed off, and he wants to win this race. I mean, but we've seen him in the past. You know, sometimes he has a habit of overriding the track, and a day like this, you got to find that delicate balance of not overriding, but keeping that intensity as high as you possibly can.
Oh, and what a corner right there on that left-hander. He's lost just a little bit of time, but he's still in third. He's 1.34 back.
Can he reel it in this lower Red Bull Ravine? It's high speeds, relatively low stakes.
Oh, just letting those tire knobs eat. He's all up on the corner knobs.
Yep, grabbing the cranks. All right, Pinkerton in touch. Can he make up that second? He's got to do a 242 or better to take it in the hot seat. Nice through the dust moto whoops.
Oh, what a run Ryan Pinkerton is on right here. The young man from Mondraker Factory trying to knock Amaury Piron off the hot seat. He sat there nearly for the entire top 10. Pinkerton goes so inside on that jump. Oh, and he loses a little bit of time to go sixth. He'll be 1.76 back. And that means Amaury Piron going to take the win today. But that was a great run by Pinky, Chris.
Oh, shaking his head with disapproval. He knew he made a mistake that cost him the win today. But look at that bang. He's yoked. I mean, he's ready to snap that Mondraker in half if given the opportunity. This kid is so strong, Will.
There they are in the finish corral, dapping it up. What a weekend it's been here at the Tennessee National. As we look at our final results in our pro men. Here's your pro men's podium for the Red Bull Tennessee National. Dante Silva up there in 5th place. Aaron Gwynn, the boss man, putting it down for 4th. Troy Brosnan walking away with a 3rd place. Till Allerin 2nd, and Amory Piron, your winner.
The run was a bit sketchy. It was really hard to stay in line. Because of the rain, we didn't have the chance to train in the rain, so it was just 4 finals, so a lot of surprise. And happy I got all my lines. I needed to change few of them, but everything went well, so super happy.
Would you win?
Yes, baby! I won that! That's the sickest trophy I got, I think. So super stoked.
And you look at that top 10, we had some riders that just really caught good luck, didn't deal with the rain. Bodie Burke, fast American. Jagger Busey, where did he come from? He was right in the mix. Alden Pate, Max Allren, great runs. Ryan Pinkerton, he left some time out on the track, but he's still in the top 10. So hats off to all these riders for getting down the hill in one piece. Amory Piron absolutely murdered it today.
All right, that is a wrap. The 2025 Red Bull Tennessee National. What a wild weekend of racing here at the Rock, where all bets were off, from sunshine to dust, mud to rain. Thank you all so much for tuning in for today's broadcast. And on behalf of myself and the entire crew here at the Gravity Co-op, we want to thank you for supporting US Downhill.